All right, everybody, welcome back into another episode of the Lesko Podcast. Joined by Brett Cable once again to talk Penn State football. We're going to talk just the Terry Smith interview that they did on the Pocket. A couple things stood out to us, and we thought it was pretty interesting. So, Brett, again, he was on the Pocket. It was pretty cool. Good interview from Hackenberg, former QB1 of Penn State. What did you think of what he said on there, Terry?
Yeah, it was a couple days ago, so it's not super fresh in my mind. But it was a good conversation. I mean, first, the way Hack started it off was, he's like, "Well, I got to start it with, how did that feel last season? Being the guy for a couple months, leading Penn State to some victories." And Terry Smith was, obviously Terry Smith has talked multiple times on this, but basically he couldn't really put in the words. You can just tell by the look on Terry Smith's face, like he can't put in the words how much it means to him. Penn State is his life. He went to Penn State, played there. To be named the interim head coach he was over the moon about it. And not only did he feel a certain way about getting the job, for a short period of time, but what he did with it, right? Like what Terry Smith did as the interim head coach with Penn State is nothing short of remarkable, right? The way he rallied the troops and to lead them to victory, almost beat Iowa week 1 with a couple days of prep, almost won at Iowa.
Yeah,
with Ethan Grunkemeyer. Yeah, they should have won. They almost won that game with Grunk first start. That's a tall task. It's a hard ask to do, So, and then you saw the improvement going on the road to Ohio State with that team that they had last year. Even though Ohio State lost to the only two really good teams they played, they were still a really good team. And playing in Columbus is very hard for any team. The only team that's beaten Ohio State in Columbus is Michigan in the last 10 years, really. I mean, let's be honest here. So, showing some fight in the first half against Ohio State and just what he did, you can just tell it means the world to Terry Smith, and Terry Smith means the world to Penn State and the Penn State fans. The alumni, the lettermen, they all love him. And how could they not? So, yeah, Terry was just basically started it off with, how, he's like, I wish we could have did a little bit better, but, overall, I think we did good to finish the season on a high note. And he talked about how much everything is aligned with Matt Campbell now. I do remember that. He was saying, like, things are much different now. And he was, it was no shot at Frankie Boy, but basically, without saying it, he was like, yeah, things are trending in the right direction, the way that the program is going and operations, how everything is, behind the scenes, right? Everything is just completely changed, just a complete 180. And he didn't really go into super specifics, but he said how, the staff and the way everybody gets along is, second to none. So that's what I can remember. I'm sure you remember some other bright spots, but to start it off, that's what I'll go with.
Yep. Yeah. Good take. Good points. Well, first of all, I'll just start it with this real quick. We're not going to be on here long, guys. We just want to talk about this.
Mm-hmm. It's not playing. I can't hear it.
Good. Can you hear it?
Mm.
You can't hear it?
No.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Let me check. But that's the interview that he did after, I think it was after Iowa It was a good interview that he.
Okay. Yeah. His interviews were some of the greatest I've seen, to be honest with you. His transparency, how open and authentic he is. Well, I can't hear you either.
I know why. Hold on. Sorry, guys. All right, there we go. So Audrey Snyder asked him what it's like to be the head coach, and like the reason, as a Penn State fan, personally for me, a diehard Penn State fan, the reason why it's so understandable and why it's very powerful that he was breaking down, because you think about what Joe Paterno did here. I mean, he was an icon. This is an iconic program. He played for Joe Paterno. That this is the head coach of all head coaching positions.
Yeah.
And that's why he's breaking down, because you know how iconic it is to be the head coach of Penn State? That's like being the manager of the Yankees or the coach of the Steelers. You know, Mike McCarthy broke down when he was hired.
Yep.
Bro, it's the job, especially for a letterman.
And there's only been a couple people hired, so
it's just I get it's really humbling for me. I apologize. It's just humbling sitting in this seat.
Yeah, he worked really hard to get there, man.
Yeah.
There's so many people in my life that speak life into me.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very humbling for sure, because that man, I just can't imagine him and what he's thinking and feeling being a head coach at Penn State. That's crazy.
Yeah.
He deserved it. The previous guy didn't appreciate it, didn't take advantage of his opportunity.
Took it
for granted 100%.
Yeah.
Worried about what the fans are saying, worried about Twitter. Who cares? But he did. And then another aspect of this is the letterman. Again, that's the part that really makes me mad, is the letterman we're not respected. That is absolutely pathetic.
But to come back for an occasion like this, I think
he said he comes back for games when he announces them.
It's really special. At first, it's always great, to be around teammates and guys that were here when you were here or before you or a little after. And so I think it's great that he's doing it, and made, the event we had the other night was really awesome. And a lot of people felt really, really special to be back here and to have a chance not only to see each other, but get to meet the new staff and the new team.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity. I mean, anytime you can talk to the younger generation, it's an opportunity to pass on, hopefully pass on information, also inspire, encourage. And a lot of kids coming in here for the first time. It's a new, everything's new. So be able to be a part of that. Coach Campbell, Coach Smith inviting us in has been terrific. And I just appreciate the opportunity to speak to the kids, and hopefully it's been helpful for them.
I made a decision when I was 18 years old to come here, and it was one of the greatest decisions I've ever made in my life. I made a lot of friends. I got to play on great football teams. I got to play for a great coach in Joe Paterno. when I'm broadcasting games, if I am talking about Penn State, I can't be biased. There's no doubt that I bleed blue and white.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was nice to see DJ. It was good to see DJ Dozier on there.
Yeah. Icon of Penn State as well. 100%. Again, another guy that was a great football player from Penn State. He's back. That's the prayer photo after he scores against Miami in the national championship. There's Kevin Horn wrote that story. Again, and Kevin Horn, he's on For the Bloggy, Tangwall Football Network. I knew Kevin when I was at Penn State. Funny guy. I really appreciate his takes on things. He's pretty straightforward as well. But
DJ's one of your favorite players too, right? Isn't he like one of your top?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yep. Have his book, Decide to Dominate. He's a good man. He's a good representation of Penn State, college football. Good example for young men like Terry. Not that Terry's young. I mean, like Terry, he's a good example for young men. Yeah, absolutely. He talked about his favorite moments. One of them being as a player, he caught a touchdown against number 1 Notre Dame at the time. He won the Big Ten title, and then the Grant Haley, kick six, I guess you call it. Yep. And then went in the Pinstripe Bowl. Terry Smith, Terry Smith, like if we ever went back to the moon, or we're trying to go back to the moon, call Terry Smith, because he took an absolute dumpster fire. Around completely. That like it couldn't have been worse. And he won a bowl game. Like that's crazy.
You're breaking up on my end a little bit. I don't know what.
Yeah, StreamYard's being weird tonight. Am I good?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So he completely turned around the season, which is awesome. So all the credit goes to him. He talked about his favorite moments, talked about, he didn't talk about wins. He talked about putting the best product on the field that he could for the fans, which is pretty much the total opposite of what Franklin did. He talked about winning and this and that, and he didn't like the fans, as a Big East boomer would say, or I'm sorry, Northeast boomer would say, from Landon's show. There was something off about the guy. He seemed to try to isolate the fans from the players, and he did. So Terry just talked about what I liked about what he was saying. He talked about the season, talked about his favorite moments as a coach and a player, talked about going forward, about how it's different. Matt Campbell is a much better fit. Like Brett said, he didn't take a shot, but he did. He did. He basically said it's different now. Common sense is back in the building, which is obviously true now. So overall it's just a good interview. I liked it. And I'm glad that Hack was able to interview him. He talked about the Letterman coming back, how Matt Campbell has fully embraced that. That is a huge aspect of it. On Brett, there's not many things in this world that baffle my mind more than the lack of respect for the Letterman in the last coaching regime, and the lack of embracing of history. That is insane to me. And I didn't know fully how bad it was until recently, which why I get upset about the previous coach. That's why I get so upset. Because I already didn't like him. Yeah, but we still supported him. Like we supported him as best as we could on here, honestly. But it was just good to see him talk. That's the first time we've really seen him talk like in a comfortable setting with a fellow Penn State Letterman. Like it was just a good setting for him to do an interview for sure, because he coached Hack, and Hack is also a Letterman. They're brothers from the gridiron. So it was just overall, I was really happy to see it. So,
and Hack and Kabinda, they appreciate Terry Smith even that much more now after seeing what he did last year. They already liked Terry Smith, but now you can just tell. Hack started off. He's like, one of my favorite guys. Terry Smith, like he was genuine about it. He's like, you're one of my favorite dudes. So, that was good to see.
I don't know how he couldn't be. It's just overall really enjoyable to watch. Go watch it. Keep up with Blue White. Keep up with BWI. Get the subscription. Roar Plus. My link is below in the description if you want to get my referral. Overall, it's just, if you want to support Penn State NIL, I picked football to support for my subscription through Roar Plus. So, referral code, you can kind of get I think you get some sort of referral bonus or something like that. Nice. But I'm not an expert in any way regarding recruiting, but I have to thank the Letterman. Absolutely. They're all helping out right now. Absolutely. We got the largest living alumni base in the world, probably one of the most successful Letterman bases in the world, 100%. And the fact it's crazy, man. Matt Campbell is fully embracing it. I'm like, thank God he is, because
the event that they have in Philly, they had in Philly last year, they haven't won this year. That is specifically for Letterman to put towards NIL. Other people will be there too, but when it comes to the Letterman, they certainly pitch in what they can, whatever they can help with when it comes to NIL to get recruits. So behind the scenes they do.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. They certainly are supporting Penn State again because they weren't before. So this is the picture of us at the 2012 Penn State whiteout, still the record for Nittanyville, Paternoville, obviously never changed it, but that's me right there. I was all painted up. And then Kevin is right here. Can you see him, Brett? Kevin's right there. So Kevin, Doug, his brother, was a long snapper. Jack, Mike, Steve right there. Me, Connor used to lift with him. Dude's like 6'5", 260 per muscle. He was massive. Could have played football. I don't know why he didn't. But that dude right there told me, the Care Bear guy, told me that we were on TV. That's how I found out. He's making me a panini at West. So, yeah, man, I was right in front of you at the game. We were on TV. So I went back and watched it. And, they did a close-up of us. Pretty funny. But, overall, guys, we're in a very good spot. Again, I've said it again and again and again. Appreciate where we're at now. We have a real coach, real staff. Believe in the staff, support the staff. Terry Smith is there, and he's supporting them, so we should too. And just the fact they're bringing the Letterman back, that alone should make you support this new staff. So, Brett, you have anything else to say?
Trying to think. I know there was more to the interview. I listened to it a while ago, to be honest with you. It was probably like 5 days ago, so it's hard to remember. But
you were sick too.
Yeah, when I was sick too. But I do remember, Hack was asking, some questions about the guys that came in. Oh, that's what it was. How has the Iowa State transfers meshed in with Penn State? Is it like all one? Is it like all Penn State now? Or is there still the meshing of the Iowa State players and then other transfer players from different teams? Is it all meshing well? And he's like, yeah, I mean, they have to practice and, they work out together. So the winter workouts is where everybody really got acquainted and, learned some things about each other and, building that relationship. So, Terry Smith touched on that, how, the mesh has been really good and, the vibes and everything around the program has completely changed. It's, like I said, did a 180. So he basically said, we needed this. Penn State needed this. That's what Terry Smith said. He said, this is what Penn State needed. And it's good for Penn State football and for the players that stayed. So.
Yep. Yeah, man, he's a totally different person in the sense that his mindset is, bro, he's being listened to. He's being appreciated. Truly, he was not last with the last coach at all.
Nope.
At all. He hired him, and that was about it.
Even Terry Smith. Terry Smith has way more pull now. That's what I meant to say earlier too. Franklin, I'm sure, listened to him, and they had a good relationship. But now, like, Terry Smith is the actual assistant to the head coach. Like, now he's the actual second dude. Franklin, there was no second guy. He was the ego guy. Nobody was below him at number 2. Everybody else was the same. Or you're not the same, but you know what I mean? Like, there was just the one guy. Now you get a 1-2 punch with Matt Campbell and Terry Smith. And Matt Campbell, the way he is, you already know that Terry Smith is going to have some pull with what he wants and what he thinks should happen. And Matt Campbell's going to work with him. So,
one thing I had noticed recently, which didn't really know before because I didn't really watch much coverage of Penn State truly. Didn't really need to, and then Franklin was there, so I didn't really care to. But he is always coaching. Like, that's what LeVar said on a Roar Plus interview, like, before the season last year. LeVar Jr. said, like, he really coaches Franklin. Meaning, like, dude, he overcoaches. Like, he and you see it at VT. You see clips. We watch him just to laugh. He's he's always there coaching. So when you see, like, the missed assignments and the fumbling of whatever, the lack of execution, it's because they're getting told like 25 different things, and they're doing 25 audibles, and they're going quick. Saw it on the goal line against Nevada last year. Like, they're at the goal line, they didn't score. Like, you got to let your coaches coach, and that's what Matt Campbell's doing. He's very quiet. That's what Chris Buchanati said. He said you can tell he's quiet. He's letting guys coach. Franklin did not do that, so he's letting Terry Smith talk and coach, and we're going to get some wins just from Terry being listened to. That alone will help. Just an overall way better situation. So I'm really excited.
Matt Campbell's analyzing, not micromanaging. That's exactly what it is.
He's doing what a head coach should do. Head coach should not be micromanaging every little detail. The head coach, if I was a head coach in high school, for example, I would put my team in the weight room if I trusted the weightlifting coach, and I would leave. If they don't get better, it's on you. It's not on me. Make them stronger, bigger, faster. I don't need to be here because I trust you to do it. That's it. Okay? You shouldn't have to worry about how the corner's getting coached, how the safety's getting coached. Why is this play being called? Like, that's not his. It's his job to oversee everything. It's not his job to micromanage every little thing. That's crazy. So
if you trust the people you hired and you had good instincts on the people you hired, then you wouldn't act that way. So All
right, guys. Thanks for coming on. Thanks, George, for the comment. We'll see you guys, I guess, tomorrow. So, but Brett's feeling better, thank goodness.
Getting there,
But all right, guys. Have a good night. And we'll see you, Penn State. We will see you tomorrow.